Hello there.
Hi guys, Josh Lloyd here. What to watch for Thursday in the NBA. If you haven't checked it out already, I did my first All-Star selection show where I picked the All-Star starters and reserves for the West and Eastern Conference, so go check that out. Safe to say some controversy with some of those selections, so go and see what you think about those. Let's talk about these games now for Thursday. The first game we look at, the Utah Jazz and the Atlanta Hawks, the Marvin Williams Bowl. I want to check on Jordan Clarkson, whose play has dropped off over the last week or so. The minutes are pushing back into that mid-20 zone, but that ridiculously hot shooting that he was doing has fallen away. And that was so much of what his value was: high usage, high efficiency in 25 minutes. If that goes back to career-type levels, then his value falls outside the top 100. So let's see what he can do. Well, not Bogdan. Jeez, I never make that mistake, and I just made it. That's annoying. Bojan Bogdanovic. And that's how you know, I'm not editing these shows. Bojan Bogdanovic, who's been bad for majority of this season, has started to put together a couple of decent games. So let's see if he can get some shots to actually fall. Let's see if he can continue to get to the line, which he has in the last couple. Let's see whether he can push himself back to being a 12-team league player. For the Hawks, Cam Reddish, man, he was atrocious on Wednesday. Look, he had some nice form at the end of his rookie year, but he was horrible to begin his career, and he's been pretty bad to begin this season. So which one of those is the real Cam Reddish? Can he provide 12-team value? I have my doubts. And then John Collins, who is just consistently playing within the system, playing within himself, and that's not yielding big fantasy numbers. So let's watch what he can do. Can he even get close to being back to a top 50 player? I'm not certain that he will. The next game, the Harrison Barnes Bowl, the Warriors and the Mavericks. Kelly Oubre has been bad. They are benching him now. Not out of the starting lineup, but down the stretch, other players are playing over him. He can't hit shots. Something's going wrong. I don't think that he's a drop in most cases, but I can understand that if you do it. They're going to be without James Wiseman and Kevon Looney again, so Juan Toscano Anderson is going to have to step up. I expect that he starts and Draymond Green starts at center, and then Eric Pascal comes off the bench. Toscano Anderson's worked extremely hard on his efficiency and his shooting numbers. His shooting numbers are way up this year. He gets steals at a decent clip as well. He's at least someone to have a look at if you're looking to stream players in on a low-volume Thursday. Maxi Kleber should get another start for the Mavericks returning from COVID. A guy that I just want to see pushed to 26 or 27 minutes. If he can get to that level, then he does have value as a 12-team league player for his ability to block shots and to hit threes. While Joshie Richardson, again, hasn't been at the level he was a couple of years ago, back playing for the Miami Heat, I don't believe he's a must-roster 12-team league guy, but he'd need a few decent games to show me that. We're not at that point yet. Next up, the Blazers and the Sixers, the Robert Covington Bowl. Gary Trent getting a ton of minutes for the Blazers. At some point it's going to fall away when the shot doesn't fall, but in 35 minutes a night, he's going to just bludgeon you with volume. So even on a bad shooting night, maybe he gets 15 or 16 points anyway and hits a couple of threes. It might take 24 shots, but he's going to do it. And then Nasir Little, who's been dealing with, he's been playing well, dealing with an injury at the moment. And at the time of me recording this, he has been ruled out. So who is going to be that replacement? Will it be Simons, who was on a weird minutes limit last game? Will Rodney Hood start again in place of him? You would imagine that he does. Or Derek Jones could be returning back into that spot. Jones is currently questionable. So some options there for the Blazers at that spot. For the Sixers, Seth Curry has really struggled since he returned from his COVID diagnosis. Only took 3 shots on Wednesday and missed them all. He's really trending towards a drop, so let's see if he can get things back on track here. And then on the other side of things, if we're looking for defensive streams, Matisse Thybulle, he's playing minutes, he's taking them away from Tyrese Maxey. He's playing like those 20 a night, and he can be a guy that gets 1.5 steals and 0.8 blocks in that amount of playing time. And if that's something that's going to remain real, then that has absolute value in 14-teamers and even as a stream option or an end-of-week Hail Mary type in a 12-team format. Next up is the Rockets and the Grizzlies, the Chandler Parsons Bowl. I want to watch Jae'Sean Tate, who's been playing really well. There's going to be no Victor Oladipo in this game. We might have John Wall returning, we don't know. But Tate is going to get opportunities to handle the ball. He plays good defense. He might even get a few more opportunities as a scorer with Oladipo out. So I want to watch what Jae'Sean can do. Probably not much more than a streamer just for Thursday, but a solid 16-team league guy and maybe even a 14-team leaguer. while Eric Gordon should get another opportunity as well. He started with Wall out on Wednesday. He probably gets another start with Oladipo out on Thursday. And can he make the most of those opportunities? Can he continue to get high usage and handle the ball a little bit more? Because that's really what he needs to be a solid NBA fantasy player. For the Grizzlies, DeAnthony Melton, the wave pool, who's been putting up really good numbers. The minutes crunch is the real concern. Now, at this point, I believe Grayson Allen has been ruled out already. So we should get some solid numbers there for Melton in terms of playing time. Yes, Allen is out, as is Jonas Valanciunas, so it should be another pretty solid night in terms of minutes for Melton. Let's see what Jenkins does, but we want to watch that. And then Ja Morant, who hasn't been at his best since returning from his ankle injury. Let's hope that we can get back to that guy that we saw for those first 2 or 3 games before he got hurt, but I have my doubts. Just because guys coming back from those severe ankle injuries, they often don't get back to their full level of health until they've had like a full off season to rest. So I want to watch Ja's explosiveness. I want to see his shooting numbers in particular, just to see how he looks in return from that injury. Next up, the Nuggets and the Lakers. It is the Nick Van Exel Bowl. Michael Porter Jr. Will Michael Malone keep him on the bench? I would imagine he does, but the question is it 28 minutes or is it the nonsense 18 minutes that he played in the last couple? If it's 18 minutes again, that makes Porter a real buy low, because I think eventually he's going to push back to 30, but it is extremely frustrating. While the headmaster Jamal Murray's been dealing with this elbow problem, he's been absolutely disappointing in terms of his fantasy output. Now, that's not true. Some people expected him to be a bubble level performer. I didn't, but even he's disappointed in terms of where I had him projected for this season. And let's hope that elbow can heal up. And they've had a bit of time off here after their game against the Pistons was postponed. For the Lakers, Anthony Davis, who's nowhere near the level of player that he has been in the past, so let's hope that he can get that going. And let's hope he can fix his efficiency, especially his free throw numbers. They've been extraordinarily low. And they've made a change to their rotation, which does sneak under the radar a bit, but Markieff Morris and Wes Matthews are out, and Taylor Horton-Tucker is getting those minutes. Now, he's only a deeper league player, but let's see how he looks filling in for Matthews and filling in for Morris, and can he make that role his own? Because he has at the moment. He's taken that spot, and let's see if he can continue to do that. Let's look at some stream options now for Thursday. Fart and Will Barton, we assume, will get another start. He's available in a lot of leagues, and while I don't like his long-term potential, he's a great add for Thursday. So is his teammate Monty Morris. Gary Harris is out, so Morris is going to see his minutes increase. He's an excellent assist-to-turnover player. He can score a little bit, hit some threes as well. There is some value there. I mentioned already that there's going to be no Looney or Wiseman for the Warriors, so Juan Toscano Anderson's going to have to step up and play a lot of minutes. So I'd be absolutely keen on streaming him in. Anything 14 or deeper, he's a must stream for sure. And I'd even consider it in 12-teamers because he's going to get some minutes and he's going to produce okay, I think. I think we could look at Alex Caruso as a pretty strong stream. We're seeing his minutes slowly rise. He's not the greatest fantasy producer, but when the minutes start to push up, his ability to hit threes and get steals become important. And then we can also look at Daniel House Jr. With Victor Oladipo sideline. House should get a couple of extra minutes. He's not the best option moving forward, but he is a guy that can hit some threes and get some steals and do a little bit of scoring. And that has its use for sure. That'll do it for my What to Watch For show for Thursday. Don't forget to subscribe and check out all of the other videos on this channel, including the All-Star video that I did earlier today. I'll be back later on today with a recap show of the 10 games from Wednesday, so check that out. Hit the bell for notifications. Give it a thumbs up, guys. We are done here. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. See ya.